What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another news video. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Backlash over Jerry Lawler's comment on Raw, a rumored title match set for Money in the Bank, a former Diva exposes Randy Orton and Edge for bullying, WWE 2K21 possibly cancelled, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. But let's waste no further time and get straight into the first story, as Jerry Lawler gets backlash over a controversial line during commentary on Raw. Now, the King risked life and limb and even had to fly himself to get to this week's Monday Night Raw episode to do commentary. Whether they were a fan of Lawler's commentary or not, some fans weren't too happy with him calling Akira Tozawa's moonsault the ramen noodle moonsault, since, you know, he's Japanese. Many took to Twitter to call out Lawler. WrestleTalk tweeted, "Jerry Lawler saying Akira Tozawa hit the ramen noodle moonsault. Dude, it's 2020. One Twitter user wrote, "Did this MF for Jerry Lawler say Tozawa did a ramen noodle moonsault? Get him the F out of here, man." Another tweeted, "So last week Jerry Lawler says the Street Profits, who are black, have Kool-Aid in their red solo cups. This week he calls the Japanese wrestlers move the ramen noodle moonsault? We're not okay with this, right? Dude has to go." Now Hulu saw the backlash and decided to edit the comment out of their version of the Raw showing. But even though some were angry, Jim Cornette defended Lawler, tweeting, "So now people are mad at Jerry Lawler for telling a joke. Now I understand why modern wrestling sucks, because most modern wrestling fans are such whiny little pussies, they don't deserve good wrestling. How do these people go out in public without breaking out in tears? Hashtag whine." Well guys, what did you think of the line? Do you think it deserved the response it got? To be honest, the real crime here was Lawler mistaking a senton for a moonsault. Come on Lawler, get that right. Next up, a rumored title match set for Money in the Bank. WWE's next pay-per-view Money in the Bank won't be taking place at its original venue, that being Baltimore's Royal Farms Arena, thanks to the current pandemic, but it could be taking place at the WWE Performance Center now that WWE has been considered as essential business. Last night's Raw saw 3 women qualify for the women's Money in the Bank. They have yet to have any qualifying matches for the men's Money in the Bank, but Dave Meltzer confirmed that the Raw tag titles will be defended as the tag champions, the Street Profits, will go up against the Viking Raiders. That sounds all well and good, but we were kind of hoping that they would have put Cedric Alexander and Ricochet in the title scene by then, but it's possible they will do so sometime after the pay-per-view. Next up, a former Diva accuses Edge and Randy Orton of bullying. The WWE is involved in anti-bullying campaigns, which some have found hypocritical considering claims of bullying in the past and even today. Former WWE Diva Amy Weber recently accused both Randy Orton and Edge of bullying her during her time in the WWE. According to Weber, she had hurt herself so bad that she thought she may have cracked her tailbone. On our way back in Alaska, because we had more television to tape there, I was laying across 3 seats. We were all sleeping and I'm gonna go ahead and call people out because this is a truthful video. Randy Orton decided to come up behind my chair like a linebacker that he slammed into it so hard that I landed on the floor of the airplane. He then said to me, "You're gonna learn, bitch." I didn't understand what he was talking about, but that was the only beginning, as Weber recalls it, saying, "I turned around and I went back to sleep. I was awakened by someone pouring a drink in my face, so immediately I popped up and I saw Edge. Yes, you Edge, with a partially drank drink in his hand with a little bit left, and it was the same color that it was basically all over me. I stood up and I said, 'Do you have a problem with me?' He denied it, but the drink was in his hand." Weber finally had enough and remembers what happened next, telling Edge, "So I said, 'Let's go, fight me. You wanna be a man? Let's go, fight me.' And he kept denying it, but I know he did it, but he had the drink in his hand. At the end of the day, did I deserve it because I took 2 ibuprofen that the trainer told me to take and get some ice from the men's locker room? I don't think so. Just as a human being, as a decent human being, you just don't do that to people." After the flight, Weber quit the WWE. She had not signed a contract, and that was the end of her career. What do you think? Is there any truth to Weber's story? Why would she take so long to come out with this story? I mean, at least Sean Waltman wasn't on the plane, otherwise she would have ended up with a shit in her bag. Next up, WWE 2K21 cancelled? A few gamers who played it would deny WWE 2K20 was a flawed, some have described it as a broken game when it debuted, and even now after a number of patches, the game is still imperfect. While we may never know the full story of why the game was almost dead on arrival, the game's sequel may already be dead. Former Road to WrestleMania mode writer Justin Leeper has provided some scoops on the WWE's video games, and now Leeper is saying, "I've heard from reliable sources and I truly believe that WWE 2K21 has been cancelled. There will be no game this year." Now of course there's been no official word from 2K or Visual Concepts, but judging by the current situation with the world, it's unlikely that they'd even have time to work on the game. Maybe this is a good thing though. Maybe they can take an extra year to actually polish the game or give us something new. Well, the rumor has it that WWE may have a new game coming out later this year that is not a wrestling simulation, but some other type of game. Are you guys bummed that WWE 2K21 could be cancelled? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Tony Khan's big boast. AEW President Tony Khan isn't letting NXT's slim victory from last week get to him. Today, Khan let the fans know that the 15th April Dynamite is going to be a huge show, tweeting, "The most anticipated match in AEW Dynamite history will also be the most brutal and memorable match we've put on television, as Jon Moxley defends the AEW World title versus Jake Hager. No holds barred with JR on the call. I believe this will be known as the best empty arena match ever." Ooh, promoters need to back up their claims, so AEW fans will be none too pleased if this week's Dynamite doesn't deliver. Next up, what Brock Lesnar told Drew McIntyre when he saw him in 3MB. And Drew McIntyre's unlikely journey from member of the goofy group 3MB to WWE Champion has made for some interesting stories during McIntyre's recent interviews. Speaking with Sports Illustrated's Justin Barrasso, the new champion recalled what Brock Lesnar asked him when he saw him in the group alongside Jinder Mahal and Heath Slater. Brock was not long back at that point from UFC. He pulled me aside and he straight up asked me, "Why are you involved in this?" He was so confused, but he saw something in me and believed in me. It's pretty crazy, all these years later, I was the guy to take the title from him at WrestleMania. Drew pointed out that Brock doesn't just lose to anyone. Brock is a man's man. He won't do business with you if he thinks you're not doing the job you should be doing. Brock is a very private person. He doesn't like people too much, but he's all about respect. To have earned his respect means a lot. Drew must have earned Lesnar's respect as the Beast sold McIntyre's Claymore kicks like armor-piercing bullets, lying in the ring as if he were lifeless following Drew's WWE Championship win. Next up, The Rock comments on WWE superstars striving through the pandemic. Now in our previous video, it was reported that WWE superstars are reluctant to travel to the Performance Center, but know that if they don't go, their spot will be taken by somebody else. But if it makes them feel any better, WWE legend The Rock praised the WWE's performers for continuing to work. During an appearance on Instagram Live, the Great One noted,
"And I have a lot of love and respect for all the men and women who continue to put their bodies on the line. And by the way, it's crazy. They're continuing to put their bodies on the line as through this pandemic. They're still working hard and just wrestling and sweating and on each other and just doing all of this, but all in the name of entertaining the fans, which I think is always cool because wrestling has always had this adaptability to it that is always very cool. So I do. So thanks for asking me that.
And finally, Diamond Dallas Page offering free yoga for kids. Last but not least, it's been a trying time for parents and other caretakers, with the kids being home 24/7 now, but Diamond Dallas Page is offering hope for parents who need to find a way of tiring out their kids without the use of Benadryl. Recently, DDP announced that he's making his DDP for Kids available for free. It's something I did years ago and I shot it at my house for my kids 8 to 12. There's 3 different workouts. One is just under 20 minutes, the next is 30, and the next is 40. It's just fun and I threw some extra things in it that I normally might not do for adults. When everybody started closing out doors with schools, I thought about the parents. You're not supposed to let your kids mingle with other kids because you don't know what their parents have got. It's just them in their house. A DDP yoga may be a godsend for some parents as it will give their kids something to do while keeping in shape. But there you have it guys, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.